What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It with your host, Bando. UFC 285 was this past weekend. Phenomenal card. We had the return of John Jones. We crowned a new heavyweight champion. We crowned a new women's flyweight champion. We had the debut of rising star Bo Nickel. Such a fun night. Such a fun night. You already know. I had to come here and review it. You think I'm not going to? I have to. It's automatic. So I'm sitting here tonight to review UFC 285. Let's jump right into the review. So let's break down and talk about UFC 285. We had some phenomenal prelim matchups. We had some phenomenal main card matchups. A lot of like hype lived up to. A lot of fun fights. Some matchups that I didn't expect to go the route that they went. I want to give a quick shout out to two quick performance, like performance of the night type thing or early performance of the night. We want to give it to Ian Gary and Marc-Andre Balariot. I think that's how you say his name. Dude looked like a savage in there against Julian Marquez. And Ian Gary getting tested early, coming back from adversity, getting a finish. Phenomenal. Tabitha Ricci too with a phenomenal submission over Jessica Penne. It was such a fun night, and when the night starts off with good finishes, you know it's going to continue that way, and it sure did. Leading into the prelims, we had Dricus du Plessis finish Derek Brunson in such a crazy way. I'll talk about that one in a second. You had Cody Garbrandt and Trevin Jones in a pretty boring matchup, if I'm being honest. Is it Trevin Jones or Trevor Jones? I think it's Trevin Jones. I don't want to say it wrong. But it was a boring matchup, man. Real boring matchup. For Cody to come back and put himself back into the win column, awesome. I'm super happy for him. I really did want that to happen, but it was an underwhelming performance. Very boring. I thought Amanda Ribas looked really... I'm not gonna say really good, but I thought she looked good. She another one that got tested. She fought back from adversity. I thought Vivian Araujo landed some heavy shots on her, some good shots. Amanda needs to tuck her chin a little bit more. She leaves her chin way up. But that's just coming from the guy sitting breaking down the fights. I don't know shit. I just do this. This is what I do. She gets hit a lot. Overall, she gets hit a lot. Amanda Ribas gets hit a lot, but she fought good. Stayed in there, kept fighting, fought back from adversity, got the decision. You had Derek Brunson, like I said, lost to Dricus du Plessis. So let's talk about that real quick, because you had that matchup with Derek Brunson, and he was winning the first round. He looked solid in the first round. Everything was going good. But then kind of gassed out. You saw him start gassing out. You know how Derek Brunson gets sometimes. He just starts gassing out. And he was gassing out because he went full-fledged in that first round, and Dricus du Plessis weathered the storm, and he did well. I'm not a big du Plessis fan, but he weathered the storm. He did what he was supposed to do, and came back and put it to Brunson. He was piecing him up on foot. He was fucking him up on the ground. It was a good matchup for Dricus du Plessis, a good test for him. So I was actually surprised that it went that route. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because of Herb Dean. Herb Dean, he missed this one. This is one of them fights where he missed. He just missed, right? Derek Brunson was getting pummeled. He was out on while he was on his back. It was clear as day that his corner saw it, and his corner tossed in the towel. He was exhausted to begin with and was pretty much out on his feet. But once it went to the ground, he got ground and pounded out. And Herb didn't stop it early enough, didn't even see the towel. Look, I'm not going to ridicule anybody. You can't get at the guy for that. That's a very difficult situation. I have no idea what that's like to be a referee and have that responsibility in my hands. But he definitely missed that one. And but either way, Dricus du Plessis came out on top over Derek Brunson. Good performance for him, especially kind of a quick turnaround after just beating Darren Till a few months ago. Quick turnaround. Dude's 19-2. It's onward and upward from here. So let's see what happens next. I'm sure he's going to fight a top 5 guy here soon and see where that goes. Like I said, we had Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones, very underwhelming matchup. Cody seemed like to do a lot of dancing and didn't throw a lot. Trevin Jones didn't seem to engage much until the last round. Cody kind of gave him the last round. It was a weird fight, not a typical Cody Garbrandt fight, not something that I was expecting to see, but it did put him back in the win column. He got the decision win, so good for Cody. He's back in there. Maybe that boosts his confidence. Maybe he comes into this next fight a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more like a savage. But let's get it now on to the main card. So, the main card gave us the debut of Bo Nickel. So, opening the card was Bo Nickel versus Jamie Pickett. A matchup that a lot of people thought was one-sided. Bo Nickel was the biggest favorite on the card, a minus 2,000 favorite. That's fucking huge. So, people weren't expecting Jamie Pickett to win. And damn, that kind of just seemed like I completely just fucking kicked rocks to Jamie Pickett. Like, damn, that's bad. Like, I almost just like dogged him right there without even trying to dog him. But yeah, I mean, dude hasn't won much, but I didn't expect that. I thought Jamie Pickett had more wins than that in the UFC. But yeah, he's been in since 2020. He's got 3 Contender Series fights. I think he won 2 of them. I think it's 2-1 Contender Series. So, but overall, Bo Nickel came in. He did his thing. He did exactly what people expected him to do. So can't be mad at it. A lot of people were talking about a low blow. If you watch the replay, it does look like a low blow. Bo Nickel was on Ariel Helwani today saying that it was a knee to the thigh. He knows that for sure. Look, I don't know. I wasn't in there, but it looked like a low blow. And the low blow led to the takedown. But either way, Bo Nickel was going to get him down. Bo Nickel was going to get him down and do exactly what he did to him. And that's what he did. Jamie Pickett and his team, they're trying to get the fight overturned to a no contest because of it. I don't think it's going to happen. So many people try to appeal fights all the time. It never gets overturned. It's very rare when it happens, so I highly doubt it. But on to the next fight, Matos Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. It was a pretty good fight. I expected it to be more exciting. Wasn't it as exciting as I expected it, but it was a good fight. It was competitive, especially with the styles. I disagree with the decision. It was a split decision going in Matus's favor. I disagree. I think Jalen Turner won that fight. I think Jalen Turner landed the more effective strikes. If you look at an overall sense of what judges are scoring on, they score on damage, and Jalen Turner landed the more damaging strikes. He landed heavier blows. He landed better strikes. And he looked good. He was getting back up to his feet. Very impressive on the takedowns, backing himself up to the cage, getting right back up. He made Matus work for every takedown. Now, depending on how you look at control in these situations, what you look at for Gamrot, there was certain instances where he did have control on the ground. And then if you're scoring the holding up against the cage and stuff like that, he wasn't even clinching, just like kind of the hug against the cage. If you know me, you've heard in my past breakdowns like talking about Marab. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. And I don't think you need to score that as effective anything. It's not effective. I think it's just holding. It's not controlling. Yeah, there was moments where he was, so don't get me wrong, there was moments where he did control the fight, but a lot of moments that I think judges score upon and are way off. I'm pretty sure there was a 30-27 in there to Gamrot, and I just don't see how that even hit. Doesn't make any sense. I thought Jalen Turner fought a fantastic fight. He looked sharp. He looked prepared. Definitely tough for a guy who was coming in, supposed to be fighting Dan Hooker, and on short notice, not super short notice, but short notice, gets switched to Gamrot. You go from a tall striker like yourself to a short, stocky wrestler, and I think he looked good, and then truthfully, I think he deserves to get the win. I was listening to the BT Sport podcast, and they were talking about, does this lower his stock? Not a chance. No way. Jalen Turner is going to rise. Trust me. The more he fights, the more people he fights, the more you get to see him. He keeps getting better. He keeps getting more skilled with his hands, and before you know it, he's going to be dominant on feet. He gives me Anderson Silva vibes. Not like Anderson Silva, like, you know, champion Anderson Silva, but like just the way Anderson Silva was, the striking, the hands. He's very hard to handle on the feet. Just the whole the whole package that he is, he's very skilled, and I'd like to see Jalen Turner go far. Like I said, I think he won that fight. Pretty good fight overall. Still, shout out to Gamrot. I like watching Gamrot. I like him. He's enjoyable. He's got some of the cleanest shots when he's shooting for takedowns. He's got some of the cleanest entries that any fighter in that division has. So I like the fact that he did win too, because you get to see him in the top 5 against different, you know, styles of opponents. I would like to see him rematch Beneil. Beneil smoked him, but he says that he's got the proper game plan now. I would like to see a rematch with those two. I could see him and Charles being interesting. I could see Matus going up against either Justin Gaethje or Rafael Fiziev, whoever wins that fight. So there's a lot to be made. We could even get a Arman rematch, since Arman won his last fight. I think that's a fair rematch to make, so I'd be interested in that. You could even throw that there, but good fight. On to the next one. You had the fight of the night. This was the UFC's fight of the night, and this was my fight of the night as well, and I think this was fans' fight of the night. I think this was everybody's fight of the night. It's hard to not rock with this one. It was so good, so enjoyable. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jeff Neal. Look, I did not expect what we got from Jeff Neal at all. I did not expect it. Throwing good combinations, throwing good punches, and making the fight interesting. He made the fight interesting. You can tell he's strong. Shavkat shot for a few takedowns and couldn't really get him. Fantastic fight for Jeff Neal. You can give him like a performance of the night type of thing, because he looked very sharp and just caught me off guard overall. I didn't expect him to bring the heat like he did. But I like the fact that he did bring the heat, because he tested Shavkat. Someone needed to test that man, and Jeff Neal did exactly that. And I like Shavkat. He's stylistically fun. He's not the typical come in and wrestle and hold you down. He was standing up with Jeff Neal. He was standing and banging. He keeps his chin up in the air, but he's got a chin. He showed that. Jeff Neal's one of the heavier punchers, the harder hitters in the division, and he showed that he's got a chin. So he was taking some good shots, and he kept pushing forward, and was landing good body shots, some good body knees, was throwing some good combinations himself. So I really enjoyed that fight, and I can't wait to see more Shavkat. They're talking about him and Colby. I'd be cool with him and Bilal. Just more to see, like, more of the man's skill set, but he's definitely game, and he's definitely worth being in that top 10, worth being up there and fighting those guys. I like it a lot. Jeff Neal's an animal though, so hopefully we can get a quick turnaround for him. I want to see him back in there, get him back in the win column, because that man is an animal. He showed it. I really enjoyed that fight, man. I really did. I did not expect it, and I don't think anybody expected it to be that good or that close. I mean, the third round really closed it all, because Shavkat really just took over in that third round. Was just landed meaner shots, heavier shots, but overall, man, just so fucking good. I give that fight like an A. Not an A plus, but an A. It was definitely an A. Stay hydrated. On to the co-main event of the night. Alexa Grasso becomes your new women's flyweight champion. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Good performance, man. Really, really good performance. I gave her the performance of the night because another one. No one expected it to happen. She stayed with Valentina the whole night. Now, Valentina got a lot of good takedowns and a lot of good control, but Alexa was answering back every time they got back to the feet. She wasn't ever out of the fight. And Valentina looked like Valentina, but she wasn't doing the normal, the dominating Valentina stuff that she does. Throwing good shots. She was kind of just point fighting, point striking, and just landing. But Alexa came in with some really good boxing. We all knew that Alexa Grasso had fantastic boxing, but we did not expect Alexa Grasso to win this fight by submission. A plus 2,000 underdog for submission, and she got it done. That's just unbelievable and crazy. She actually won me some money. All the damn parlays I had, I couldn't hit for shit, but Alexa Grasso won me some money. I was gonna bet on her for submission for the plus 2,000, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go like that. I'll just bet on her for the win. and she got the win. I was super happy for that. That was awesome. Um, Overall, like, her performance shows that she can hang. It shows that she can hang with anybody in that division, anybody in the top 3, top 5. She was 6 jumping to fighting the champion, and nobody expected her to win, and she got it done, like I said. So shout out to Alexa Grasso, phenomenal win. I've been a big fan of Alexa Grasso. I've been rooting for her. I'm hoping to see Irene Aldana get a championship fight soon, and it might be like some sort of Mexican takeover. You got Brandon Moreno, you got Alexa Grasso, you got Yair Rodriguez, you got Irene Aldana. You never know. You always get some sort of takeover. There was a Brazilian takeover for a little while. There was this Russian takeover is coming in, and it's rising still too. There was the African takeover for a quick second. You know, like, these things happen. Every like nationality, every nation, they come in and get some control, man. They once one star gets that star power, kind of like Ireland with Conor. Once one star gets that, the whole nation runs with it. I love seeing it. It's really fucking dope. It is cool to see how nations get behind. Like, USA is not the same. You know, states get behind their guys and stuff like that, but nothing like the whole country behind one guy like these others do. And they just follow and bring a herd of freaking savages over from every country, and it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. But right now it seems like it could be the Mexican takeover, and Dana White says they're building an Apex in Mexico and stuff like that. And in the history of fighting, you've seen Mexican boxers, freaking savages. You absolutely, there's no way that you don't like watching two Mexican boxers go at it. They just stand in the pocket and trade. It's phenomenal. But yeah, it could be a takeover. But shout out to Alexa Grasso, fantastic win. My performance of the night goes to her. And on to the fight that everybody was here for, Jon Jones versus Cyril Gane. The only fight I did a breakdown. I apologize for not doing any predictions or breakdowns or anything on the entire card, but at least we're here for the post-fight. We got to do something for the post-fight. And Jon Jones versus Cyril Gane, underwhelming as fuck. Quick, Jon Jones went in there, proved his status as a GOAT. And what else is there to say? There's not much to say. There's not much to break down about it. There's not even much to get into about it. I'm not going to dog Cyril, but I feel like in the aspect of who you're training for, I wonder what you were doing in the training. What did you train for? Did you expect it to be a fight to stay on the feet? Because the whole world knew that Jon Jones was going to go in there and take him down, knowing that he can control him just like Francis Ngannou did. He was going in there for the takedown. That's exactly what Jon Jones did. And obviously Jon Jones, bigger now, looks a little bit slower, look not off, but you know, looked like he needed to get his feet wet again. But now that he's back in there, I think that's a problem for Stipe. If they're going to be running that in the summertime, I think that's a big problem for Stipe Miocic. But who knows? It could be an exciting fight. Stipe is about to be out 3 years. The same thing. You know, he could come back like an absolute animal. Who knows? He always will have that power. But I think Jon Jones' skill set and everything that Jon Jones possesses, and now that he has his feet wet in the heavyweight division against a savage like Cyril Gane and took him out quick, got that confidence booster, I don't see it being a good night for Stipe Miocic. But I've been wrong before. We break down these fights all the time, and I'm not always right, but we try to be. We definitely try to be. But overall, it was a good night. It was a good night. UFC 285, like I said, like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. And it's good to know that Jon Jones is back. It's nice to see that the flyweight division for the women finally got mixed up a little bit. Valentina's been killing the division, so it's nice to see a little mix-up. I'm sure a rematch will happen with them. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That was a pretty bad breakdown, but it is what it is. I got to get some videos out, man. I'm just gassed tonight. I don't know why I'm so tired, but we got to get some videos out. I can't just be sleeping and not putting content out. I got to get my shit out. So either way, I appreciate you for listening. I hope you enjoyed UFC 285 as much as I did, but I also hope you enjoyed this video. Fucking A, I got to end this. What am I doing? I got to end this. I'm ending this video. Thank you for listening. You already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification button to know when my next video is coming out. Hopefully soon another one will come this week. And I thank you for listening. Thank you so very much. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace. What the